Office hours, great to have you, helping you build a career you love. Can't wait to serve you today. Hope everybody's safe. It's sunny where I am. Kind of enjoying the day. My wife had an interview this morning. She did it right in this chair. I felt like I left a whole lot of magic for her. Now I'm going to give you all my magic that I got. Get in, say hi. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what you do. Let me know what you need. Put some question marks in front of your questions. Now let's get going. Right to it. So, I see a long chat here. Jeanette, how you doing? Jeanette with 2 N's, I love it. And Unrepentant Drew from Hotlanta, great to see you, buddy. My boot camper, hope all is going well in your job. Catherine Allison, Anna Ruiz, Tony P. from Dunedin, and Wayne's email. Wayne, I made you famous. Tuesday, a video comes out, and it was inspired by you. So I hope you enjoy that. Ligia Roberts, hi. I think you've been sending me some emails. And John G. This is my disappointed face. You know why I'm disappointed. I'm not going to call you out in public. But you know what I mean, brother. You of all people. Come on, man. All right. Well, good to see you. I know you've been such a great supporter. Dana, great to see you. Patricia Nickel. Let me see. Good to see you. Holy, I recommended and used your coaching tips to a military member, spouse, so on and so forth. Now I can't seem to, and I'm not sure where the rest of that goes. Joseph A. Joseph A. Let's get you up here on the screen. Joseph kicking us off. Some general advice for those first few weeks in a new job. Thank you again for all you do in helping me secure my new position with a global market leader. Joseph, congratulations. Can we all get a high 10 live office hours for Joseph A? Now, here's what I'm going to do today. I got a lot of good news today. I got a little bit of bad news too, but I'll get to that maybe in a half an hour. I'm going to be off live office hours for a little while. I'm going to try to get as many questions as I can answered today. So if you are asking me a question and I have a video on it, I mean, I know I normally shout out the video. I'm going to kind of zip by so I can get to some folks that are asking me questions where I don't already have a video out there for it. Actually, this ought to be kind of funny because I have 300 and some odd videos out there, so if anybody's going to ask me anything I don't have a video for. But Joseph A., I have a video on starting a new job. The first thing that you need to do when you start a new job, if Kara has her dancing shoes on, she'll get that for you. But I do have a video on there on how to start a new job and what to do. But the one thing that I will tell you is not only check out that video, but the best thing that you can do on a new job is to learn all the people and what motivates them. But I go through the steps and the things that I would do. For those of you who are taking advantage of, are in my leadership program or are taking advantage of the $1 trial that I have going on, and if you have no idea what I'm talking about, shame on you because I've been sending you emails every day for a week. It ends today. The Career Accelerator has an entire module on the first 90 days, and I would check that out. And Joseph, if you're not in that, you might want to jump in the leadership program for $1. All right, hope that helps. Jesse Brady, let's see. Let me see. There's a handsome picture. Okay. Any advice for how to navigate interviewing with large organizations that have a bias towards senior positions requiring an MBA? Although the job description says MBA preferred. Personally, I don't have an MBA, but I believe my experience and skills are excellent fit for the organization and the role, and the initial call with HR went very well. Jesse, I'm not sure where you got that information that the organization has a bias towards MBAs. If they say MBA preferred, MBA desired, you don't need it. You don't. If you are inferring that from that bullet point on the job description, let me tell you that in 99% of the cases, that's all it is preferred. And I would not worry about it. My recommendations are to do everything that I've ever shared with you about interviewing tactics. If you do not have this book, get it. It's free. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that comes with it. It's $7 to send anywhere in the world if you want the hardbound. But the other thing that I would recommend for you is to watch my video. It's about 20 minutes on executive job interviewing, 12 steps to win the job or something like that. It is without a doubt one of my top 5 favorite videos I've ever created. It is sharp and fast, and it will get you thinking about the things you need to do in order to ace those interviews. The 12 steps. Just do them, and you will get that job. You will. Hope that helps. All right. Patricia Nickel, let's see. Not sure what that is. Hey, Flying Uber Tuber, Modest Virgo. Robert Ashman, good morning to you. I hope you enjoyed the tune this morning. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what tune it is. Great to see you, though. Divya? Kobe? What is it? Loretta, love that name. You're not the Lord. Okay. Portia, hey to you. Cisco, where you been, my boot camper? Todd Dirksen, my boot camper. My boot campers, you're going to be loving me. You know why you're going to be loving me? Because starting tomorrow, you're with me every week for the next 6 weeks. I added a whole bunch of sessions to boot camper private coaching. So tomorrow, next Thursday, and then every Friday for a month. So I know you don't know that, but I'm telling you that now, and I'll be sending you some messages. Giovanni, how you doing? Peter Cunningham, Mahesh, how you doing? Hold on, let's see, what do we got? See what we got here. How you doing, buddy? Hello from the Netherlands. Great to have you. Andy, I've tried to make a message for my job hunt challenge. I'm assuming you mean my job search challenge to approach professionals for opportunities, but I haven't found any success yet. Can you share a template? I do have a number of templates that I want to see how I've different packaging depending on where you are. If you're in my public domain, you have far less. The ones that I highly recommend are the Boss Hunting cover letters. I do offer a couple of those up for free. If you are in my job search bootcamp, I give you 10 networking templates that are awesome for any occasion. I've actually copywritten those templates. So for you, Mahesh, I would check out the Boss Hunting video. I don't know what the title of the video is. I think it might be like cover letter templates, how to boss hunt something or another. Just type boss hunt in my YouTube channel. And one other thing, folks, because I do, by the way, number one, I totally appreciate your time and attention in any form. I don't expect that anyone could ever keep up with the volume of content that I have out there in all the platforms. So not just on YouTube, but we put multiple videos out every single day in Instagram, in LinkedIn, and on Facebook as well, and sometimes on Twitter. But I mean, I've got a bunch of Twitter followers, but I spend a lot more time on the other platforms, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on LinkedIn. If you are not connected to me on LinkedIn, please send me a connection request. Just say, Andy, hey, I was at live office hours today when you were yelling at everybody who wasn't connected to you, so I wanted to connect. Thanks. And I will accept. And then we can follow each other. You can get all those videos. I can help you with my network in any which way I can. If you're not following me on Instagram, please do. Facebook, all those. We put little bite-sized videos out there that answer questions constantly each day. So those are great places. And then ultimately, if you ever have a question of any kind, go to my YouTube channel and go on my channel, and there's a search bar, and just type whatever it is that you're concerned about. And I probably have at least a video, if not 5 or 6, that will cover that topic. So you need cover letters. I've got a whole bunch out there. that are free. The networking templates are more tricky. Cover letters are a little bit more straight away, which is why I'm open to giving those for free. And the people that pay for the premium products, they get the more difficult stuff to do, as you can imagine. So I just want you guys to know, please make sure, just go to the YouTube channel, type that in, or check my Instagram page out, or my Facebook page, or whatever. There's a lot of stuff out there. Stacy and Mom, how you doing? Saul, how are you? First time, Saul. Saul, here. I got to put you up. First timer. Can we all give Saul a big first timer hug? I love my old timers and I love my new timers. And Joe Winter from Louisville, my boot camper, how you doing? Ed Young, how you doing? Okay, hang on. In LinkedIn, let me see, what do we got here? In LinkedIn, 300 character limit, what intro would you create to get the person to connect? If they connect, how do you encourage them to answer your intro question? Ed, I got to pull this one down. There's too many different ways to combine all of this. There are so many facets that contribute to a person's reaction or response, or the enticement of the response. The one thing I'm going to point you to is my job search challenge. Kara, can you drop that in the chat? And the reason I'm sending you there is because in the challenge, there's 5 videos that I give. The first video is the blueprint of what the challenge looks like. The second video talks about how to target organizations. The third video talks about how to identify people. And the fourth video, which will be magical for you, talks about the 7 stimulators and things that need to go into an intro message of any kind that basically are the triggers. Think of them as 7 trigger points that will get somebody to respond, where the message will become emotional for them. And that is what you need to do. Folks, you've got to understand, whenever you reach out to somebody, whenever you are writing to them, whenever you are speaking to them, if you don't hit their trigger points, they do not act. If you cannot make them emotional, they do not act. They don't need to be a lunatic emotional wreck. I'm talking about getting them to respond to something because you are hitting a touch point with them, and something that will make them respond. If you do not know what those are, get in my job search challenge and I will teach you what those are. And then you will need to figure out how to write and address those trigger points. If you get in my job search bootcamp, I give you most of the triggers. I give them to you copywritten. So Ed, try that. He said, I thought you might even be in one of those programs. If you have not gone through it, if you are in the boot camp, there's a special job search challenge for the boot campers. If you are in the public domain and you are taking my free challenge, it's mildly different. You don't get all the assets and that kind of stuff, but it's still dang good. It's really, really good. Actually, Kara yells at me daily because she says we should charge for it, and she's got a point. It's really good. Get into it while it's still free. DA, how are you? And speaking of Kara, all right, I am zipping on down. MCK, Susan, Amy. Oop. Jesse Brady. I do want to answer this. All right, this is a phenomenal question. What is more important, the organization you're targeting or the seniority level of the position? Would you advise setting a lower seniority position if the organization is highly desirable? Yes. So, you join a company. You do not join a job. And while a lot of you think that it's important that your title be a certain way and you have to have a certain role, I assure you, from decades of working as a practitioner, just like you, as a recruiter for half of those 3 decades, and now as a career coach for 5 years, I am telling you, the company you work for matters so much more than what it is you specifically do. Now, I know some of you are going to argue with that point. You're going to say, well, I didn't get a job because I didn't have this and that experience. I'm telling you, you get in with a great company, You are well better positioned and on a much better trajectory than if you got a great role with a crappy company. If you've got a mediocre role with a great companies, what do? Number one, and by the way, great does not necessarily mean a household name. Like, you don't have to work for Coca-Cola. You don't have to work for IBM. A great company could be a 10-person company. So don't misunderstand that either. Are they an ace in their space? If they're well known in the space, if they are the go-to player or in the top couple or three, if they know how to grow their employees, if they know how to provide opportunities, if you have a lower role but you're going to get to wear multiple hats, I would take that any single day. Number one, that's a personal opinion. I have experience in both large companies and small companies. To me, smaller companies are a lot more fun because I get to do a lot more things, and I got to learn a lot more about running a business. You get to learn about the other departments or units or processes or whatever. I would trade a senior role for a lower role with a better company that treated its employees better, gave you more opportunities. There are other things that go along with what I call the value package of your offer from an organization. Value means value to you, not dollars and cents like compensation. That's a part of the value package, but the value package, as I assess them, as I wrote about in Interview Intervention, it's what I get to do, who I get to do it with, training opportunities, vacation, all that other stuff that goes along with compensation. What am I going to get to learn? And what are the growth opportunities? And all that other good stuff. So, Jesse, it's far better, in my opinion, it is far better to go with a great company. And I don't know if you have seen my webinar, 3 Secrets to Get Your Resume Noticed, where I describe how I go through a resume and how 90% of reviewers, even if they're not trained to go through a resume, this is how they go through it. And I look at your name, I look at the whole entire top portion of the first page, and then I look down the left column to see where you worked. Okay, believe me, if I'm a recruiter or I'm somebody who's evaluating people to hire, I'm going to know my space. I'm likely going to know my space. Now, if I don't know those organizations, then what I'm hoping is there's a description of what the organization does. Just because you live in Europe and you've migrated to the U.S. and you've been here 10 years, but you've got 10 years in Europe and 10 years in the U.S. and you work for some European companies that I might not be familiar with and I'm looking to hire somebody, if you can neutralize that disadvantage by sharing with me what that company does, leader in manufacturing, semiconductors in European, blah, blah, blah. That will help me understand. Okay, now I understand who that company is. I might look that company up. Okay, so that's just another thing. So not only is it more important, but I know what some of you are going to ask me. Well, if I sacrifice my level when I go to apply for my next job, and let me cap off this talk with that thinking. You, in your entire life, in anything that you do, in any goal that you undertake, in any project that you work on, in any relationship that you're in, will be far better served focusing on your happiness on that day, in that minute. Okay? I'm not worried about 5 years from now if I ever want to fold up my Mile Walk and Mile Walk Academy tent. Right now, I'm focused on getting the most enjoyment out of what I'm doing with you. If I do that, now that's literally at 11:18 this minute. It's also at this hour of this day. It's also this day. It's also this week. It's this month and so on. And my job as a career coach. If you are focused on what you're doing and wringing every possible joy out of it, you will not only do it better, but you will progress faster, you will appreciate it more, you will be happier. All of that will in turn has a way of making great things happen for you just based on your attitude, your experience, your enjoyment. If you're worried about how this is going to look 3 years from now, when you might or might not change your mind, when your company might be acquired, when you might get fired, who knows? You might get married and she's from a different city and you might want to move. My point is focus on the moment. And don't get me wrong, I want you to have some foresight into the future and have a plan. but I want your daily enjoyment to supersede your long-term wishes. It should. You should be on a trajectory that is working toward the goals and the places you want to go. But getting in with a great company at a lower level could be a critical stepping stone in doing that and enjoying yourself more. Would you rather be in a more senior role that you didn't like at a company that you didn't love, that might not be a leader in its space, might not have a great reputation, might not give its employees a lot of opportunity? Or would you rather have a lower level and work in a great environment and then worry about what that looks like at some point when you do want to go and find a new job? Believe me, the story will work itself out if you're focused on the right stuff. We have recruited people who have made major mistakes and not taken jobs to get with better companies because they were worried about how it was going to look 3 or 4 years down the road. When I couldn't tell you how many times I can count people that didn't take jobs, that 6 months later, they got fired, their company folded, they were out of work. Now they're in a position where they don't have any leverage, and it looks even worse. You just don't know what the future holds. So why not be happy today? That's my point there, Jesse, and everybody else. Focus on what you love, even if it's for less money. If you get an opportunity to work with a great mentor, you should do that. If you get an opportunity to work in a great organization. And let me actually cap it off with this. I wrote an article a while back, when we didn't do as much video as we do now, called 7 Opportunities to Take a Pay Cut. It's on my blog. Maybe Kara can drop it in the chat, and I would take a look at that. Those are the 7 reasons why I would consider doing that. But not saying that you have to take a pay cut, but that this is the way I think where these 7 opportunities are going to pay off dividends in the long run, right? The longer term you think, the better your short-term decisions are. So if I'm happy today and I'm taking a step back to get ahead, or I'm taking a step back to work with a great company, or I'm maybe taking a less title level to get with a great company, that's a smart move because you're thinking long term, even though I'm telling you to focus on today. I hope that makes sense. That's a great question. Man, I probably just went, I don't know how long that answer was, but that was worth every minute of what I told you because it's really, really important. And I know a lot of you were confused about that, so I hope that helps. But Jesse, that's a great one. Thank you. All right, how we strolling along here? Mary. So for those of you that are on my email list, you probably, hopefully, opened the email I sent on Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed my video on the 3 best ways to overcome your fears. And I knew when I wrote that digest, I know because we've got some local Chicagoans and some Oak Parkers and River Foresters and people who lived in that neck of the woods where I used to go as a child to Ream Park, and I talked about how I would jump off. Actually, I think it's the Olympic level. Now, when you're 12 and you're 27 meters in the air and you're flying down to the water in 2 1/4 seconds, it's pretty frightening. But Mayor, I knew you were going to respond to that. I loved it. And if you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, you should get on my email list. You really should. It's a lot of fun. Or at a minimum, check out the 3 best ways to overcome your fears. Plus, you'll get to see me right after a run. I was totally sweaty. Susan Hay, Amy, how are you? Connie Mack, my boot camper. And Michael Flynn, my boot camper. How you doing? All right, let me see. We got a boot camper here, so let's get this question in. There we go. All right, Michael Flynn from New Jersey, retired January 2020, 30 years as an HVAC tech. So heating and air conditioning for people that don't know what HVAC is. How do I present all my HR skills learned from my HVAC career and grad school into skills that an organization will see useful? All right, it's a very lofty question. So first is, I'm assuming, obviously, from graduate school and you've studied HR or the HR concepts, one of the things that you can do is you can talk about having an HVAC career, and during that career, how in the career profile, how you've done these HR functions or related to hiring, benefits, any kind of internal process evaluation, anything related to career development, anything that would fall into an HR bucket, however loosely. You can also, if grad school, and I can't remember if it was recent or if it was a while back, if it was more recent, even though you're retired, you can move that to the top underneath your career profile, because anybody who is actually making a change, a career change, if you've gone to school, if you've gone back to school or gone to trade school or gone to get certifications or anything of that nature, you want to make sure you elevate that to the top of your resume so that they're seeing it. The one thing that I would also do, Michael, is I would go into the Career Changer module in the boot camp, and there's for those of you that are in the Job Search Bootcamp, this is the only place I have this particular instruction. I have a module on changing careers. When you change careers, no matter who you are, no matter how old you are, you go through 4 different stages and there are 12 steps. You cannot miss any of the steps and possibly succeed in the career change to any degree. So, Michael, I would send you there, go through that process and look at how I would suggest you pull that forward. But what you're ultimately doing is you're trying to pull any historical evidence that you have, skills you've built, capabilities you've built, any hard certs you have, and all that good stuff. Move it to the top so that you can justify making that change. But if you go through the Career Changer module, you should be able to figure out how to package that. All right, I hope that helps, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Hey, Paula Gomez from Baton Rouge, not too far from Stacy. Atul? All right. Ed. Okay. Ed, I don't know if, I think you're in, I don't know if you're in my boot camp or if you're in the interview course or you're in something in the Malawak Academy, I thought. Okay. This is a great question, by the way. How can you find up to the basically current companies who are recruiting for COVID-19 work? So I am certain, without a doubt, that there's about 1 million sources that are out there that are talking about which companies are hiring for, because of COVID. The first place I would point you to, if you have not seen it, is my video on how to job search during the coronavirus pandemic. It's a 65-minute one of these. I use slides and everything, and I talked about different industries, markets, and organization types and role types that are going to thrive as a result of COVID-19. I even give you a download of 36 of them. That's one step I would take. The other step is, and you will find a lot of consistency across the internet, across the blog posts, across videos from all kinds of people that are writing these. It will marry up with the things that I'm telling you in my video. The reason I suggest watching my video first is because I'm not just going to give you tactics on who's hiring, because it doesn't matter if you know who's hiring if you don't know how to interview well, you don't have the right resume and all that good stuff. So I talk completely in that 1 hour, 65-minute session on all the things that you need to adjust and the things you need to be ready for. Then what I would do is I would do some Google searching. I really would. And I think you will find the very obvious ones. I mean, the Amazons of the world need more drivers, right? UPS, they need more drivers. But there are a lot of other types of organizations and roles that are going to be thriving. And I don't know, like there's a COVID-19 hotline on the internet that says here's all the companies that are hiring, but I think you can triangulate this pretty easily. I would start with my stuff and then augment it from there. I'm trying to stay steady with the amount of information I'm providing you in the changes that you all need to make as a result of COVID-19. But to be honest with you, I've pretty much said it all already. It's already out there because we've been talking about it for a month. So you're going to start to see a shift from me, and there's going to be a lot of other things I'm going to be focused on. A lot of it's going to have to do with some of the tactical stuff that you will do, taking a little bit more philosophical way of looking at this. And a lot of what I'm going to be putting out there is going to be for your psyche and for your emotional well-being. So you'll see a lot of that stuff from me. As a matter of fact, every Friday now you're going to be getting those types of videos from me. But Ed, that's a great question, and I hope that helps. And as a matter of fact, I think I would like to take 1 minute to let you know a couple of things. Number one, if you are not on my email list, I would love to have you on my email list. That is where I have my deepest discussions with the people that I engage with. There's no greater honor for me the only greater honor for me than you inviting me into your inbox and showing up at my live office hours is actually enrolling in one of my premium coaching programs, because then I can help you on the deepest level. But next to that, inviting me into your inbox and actually looking at the stuff I'm sharing with you. This week, if you were on my email list, you got my daily routine, 2,200 words. I gave you the whole thing. On Tuesday, that was Monday, I gave you an email on how to get over your fears, and I shared a lot of stuff about watching your energy and all that. On Wednesday, I gave you my habits, personal habits, professional habits, and so on. Today, what did we talk about? You're going to get something a little later today on the 3 things that changed my life and the things that I do. Now, all of that stuff has only been going to the people that are in my email box, or invite me into their email box. But I want you to know that's where I share a lot of that stuff. So what I'm going to also be doing now on Tuesday, that's when my digest comes out. Generally speaking, it's been a mixture of job-related stuff, so career development, job searching, all the things that go along with it, interviewing, salary negotiation, resume writing. But you've been seeing a lot more from me about personal development and leadership stuff. I have a lot of that. A third of my channel is on that, and more, and closer to half of my channel is going to become that. But every Friday now, I'm going to be releasing a video related to personal development, leadership, self-help, goal development, and those kind of things tomorrow. And I'm going to try to make those quick, 2 to 5 minuters to 10 minuters, those kind of things each Friday. So if you like that stuff, make sure you're on my newsletter. One other thing, and this is kind of a catch-all, I'm probably going to do this twice, but I want to let everybody know I have got some major specials that are going on as a way of helping you with this COVID-19, trying to get over the hump. I know a lot of you are out of work. I don't know how many of you are here right now, but I know a fair number of you have been able to come to the shows now. And I did a promotion last week. If you were fortunate enough to grab it, that's great. It had to do with my resume writing masterclass. I'm doing something right now to help people get over the hurdle, get a good resume so you can get a good first step at getting your job search moving faster. So I want to let you know of a couple things that you can take advantage of right now. If you are interested, I have a $297 resume writing masterclass. It's going to be $297 again on Thursday, a week from now at this time. But between now and then, you can get this thing for $49. Actually, it's going to go up, and it might even disappear entirely. But if you want to grab this, it's got every single thing you need to know about writing your resume. There's a main teaching session. There's a supplemental session that covers all the exceptions and all that good stuff. There's also a video in there on common interview questions. And between the two, I think it's the 2 sessions that are in there, I answer 100 resume questions. Literally, could you imagine? One video's got 66 and the other video's got 930. And then that's after all the instruction. But I give you my content builder. I teach you how to generate the content. I teach you what content to generate. I teach you exactly how to write the sentences. I give you a journal to help you collect the data that you need to, looking back and going forward. All that stuff, normally $300, $49. And next Thursday at my live office hour slot, it's not going to be I'm not going to be at live office hours next Thursday. I have a private group coaching session with people in that resume writing program. So however you get into that program, whether you paid the $300 or whether you got in for free or whether you pay the $49 between now and then, you can get all that stuff and you could come to that private session. And if you are in my job search boot camp, you also will be able to come to that session. So it'll be a much smaller session and we're going to talk all things resume. That's next Thursday. So it's a steal, folks. I'm telling you, I feel badly for the people, the number of emails I get every single day that say, oh my God, I spent $1,000 on a resume writer. Then I found a couple of your videos and I reformatted it to what you did and it looks 1,000 times better. Well, think about if you had all the most detailed instruction, the word templates, the sentence structure, the sample sentences, all that stuff. That's in that program. So I'm practically giving it away for less than $50. That offer's good till Thursday. In my job search boot camp, I am going to be spending my entire next 6-7 weeks with my job search boot campers. That's where I'm going to be. So aside from this resume writing masterclass, if you get in to my job search boot camp, I extended the special rate until May 1st. What I've done is, that's the full scale end-to-end program. It's got everything you can imagine, but it also, you have access to me online anytime. And you have access to me through the private group coaching. And then there are other opportunities to get to me too. That's a full scale thing. I'm not going to go over it with you. I just want you to know it's available. If you get in today, you will max out the 6 sessions that we have starting tomorrow. And tomorrow's session is going to be on more adjustments you need to make as a result of COVID-19 and the things you need to focus on. So I'm going to teach for the first part, and then we're going to do a Q&A. Those usually last about 2 hours. Sometimes they go 3 hours. They're awesome, and I answer people's questions. The smartest thing to do is get in there, or at least get in the resume writing class, start writing your resume, start going through the stuff so that you can come to these sessions with your questions so that I can answer them. And then the other thing I mentioned earlier, I've got the $1 trial. That ends today. I don't know that I'm ever going to do this again. It was a lot of fun to do it. A lot of people jumped in. You're getting a chance to learn a lot of the other stuff. I teach on a much deeper level with much deeper assets, much deeper write-ups, everything related to high performance activities, personal development, personal enjoyment, career development, all that good stuff. And the $1 trial includes 4 major sessions. One's on mastering your focus, one's on building your habits, one's on working remotely effectively, and then there's a surprise career development bonus. You get all of those within the first week for $1. And then if you want to stay, if you are in my job search boot camp and you want to go on the monthly rate, that's $39. If you are not in my job search boot camp, it's $49 a month, or you can get a half off annual program. And on Friday the 24th, I'm teaching you how to manage risk in your life and on your projects, at work, and all that good stuff. It's the risk management methodology I've been using since 1991. It works. So I'm teaching that. So I wanted you to know, if you are not sure what you want to get into, where you want to get in, support at milewalk.com. But I would highly recommend that you check these out. To the public, I'm going dark for like 7 weeks. So this is where I'm going to be spending my time because I'm putting all my effort into these folks. I'm going to be giving them everything I have. And people in the Mile Walk Academy that pay for stuff, I'm going to be doing some things in the Facebook group as well. I've got a pretty neat surprise for those folks coming up in a couple 3 weeks. So I hope you take me up on this. Just wanted to let you know that stuff is I'm pretty stoked about that. All right, let's get back to your questions. Hey, Michelle from Las Vegas, a newer person in my community. Pablo, Modest Virgo, Frank, my boot camper. Kari, how you doing? Hope you enjoyed the leadership trial. Brenda D, Miss Marie, hey to you. Tammy Chen, My boot camper, my new professional, or wait, my boot camper to be. That's right. Jeanette, how you doing? Phyllis, my boot camper. Ritika. This is a great question. All right. Is it wise to move to another job during this pandemic? So, I would like to answer this holistically. Ritika and all, the best time to change jobs is when you need to change jobs. I understand that there's uncertainty. I understand different markets make people reluctant. If you need a job, you need to find a job, right? You got to look. Doesn't matter what's going on in the world. You have to protect yourself. You hate your job. You hate your life. You hate your boss. You hate your commute. You're not you're traveling too much, this and that. Change jobs. Now, I would say that, and we're going to go through this at length tomorrow in the boot camper session. The way in which you target where you're going to go is what will make or break your ability to be successful in the short term and the long term. So the question you're asking me, is it wise to move to another job during this pandemic? Yes, if you need to. If you are in a great job and you have an established reputation and you enjoy your company, I wouldn't be spending a lot of time, looking for work, maybe lightly. But if you need a job, this is as good a time as ever. It's your personal situation, right? I don't think about, so like when I my job search boot camp, like, is that a good time to have a sale? I don't know. Whoever needs me will find me at the time they need to find me. And if they believe that that's a good investment, they will jump in. I try to do this on a continuous basis. Now, for you, I want you to be happy on a continuous basis. I want you to have a good job on a continuous basis. If you are not in a situation where you are happy, then get yourself happy, and you need to take control of that. So it doesn't matter what's going on in the world. Companies are always hiring. Some companies will be hiring. So while this company might be laying people off, this company over here is hiring. Your job as a job seeker is to find the companies that are hiring. I don't normally like to go here, what I'm about to say, but I'm getting a little, more than a little upset when I see a lot of these trainers trying to take, trainers like, not me, but that are in my space, that are trying to take advantage of this pandemic to scare the hell out of you to get you to join their programs. I'm sharing what I'm offering you, and if you would like to get in, that's great. But you don't see a lot of words on my YouTube channel or my blog or in my emails that talk about, oh my God, this crisis, you're screwed. Oh my goodness, your company's going to be laying people off. Oh my goodness, you better get in my programs because otherwise you're going to die, right? I mean, like, that's what I'm seeing from some of these other folks. And I want you all to know, no matter what we're going through at any moment in time, somebody is always hiring. Yes, I understand that may be tougher. And yes, I want your resume to look good. Yes, I want your interviewing skills to look good. Yes, I want you now to be able to video interview. Let's call your attention, me as a trainer, to call your attention to the things that you need to make sure you're doing. Yes, you are going to need to have a more consistent routine. You know, one of the things I talked about in my dollar trial and in the emails I've been sending to people in my community, and I talk about the consistency in your routine. And while I want you to set high goals for yourself, and typically the height of your achievement will be in direct proportion to the height of the goal that you set, typically. But one thing I can absolutely guarantee you that is 100% true is your floor, how far you fall, will be dependent on the quality of your systems that you have in place. So you might achieve your goal, but you will definitely fall to the level of your systems. Are they good? Are they not? And when I say systems, I mean, do you have a step 1, step 2, step 3? Do you have a routine that says every single day I will search for a new job? I will target companies. I will target individuals. I will send my emails. I will send my cover letters. That is a system when you're job searching. right? Your mental capacity. Are you exercising? Are you eating right? Are you meditating? Are you going to yoga? Are you going to Pilates? Are you doing whatever you need to do in order to maintain your health? If that breaks down, your stress level is going to go up, right? Kind of thing. It's the same thing with your job search. So it doesn't matter what's going on around me. I have kept the same routine. The only thing that I've done differently is I've had to repackage what I share with you to your benefit, because now I have to make stuff that is, if I want to add the most value to you as your trainer, I have to add stuff that is relevant to the things that are going on at the moment. I've made my adjustments in the content to deliver you quality webinars about the coronavirus and things you need to adjust. You as a job seeker need to make adjustments, but those adjustments might mean you need to take bigger swings at the plate. You may have to have a more consistent, in my job search challenge, I talk about the level of consistency with identifying companies, reaching out to them, and so on. You may have to amp your quotas up to compensate for the lack of companies that are hiring, or not knowing which companies are hiring, or you just may need to reach out to more people in order to find the one company that you love that's going to hire you. I may have to reach out to more people to find people who are interested in engaging in my premium products. That's okay. My level of consistency in doing that every day and delivering the content and putting my videos out and writing you emails and all that hasn't changed. I just had to change the content, but the routine stayed the same. That's my system, right? Literally and figuratively. So you will fall to the quality of your systems. You might reach your goals, but you will definitely fall to the quality of your systems. Those are the kind of things I was teaching in the leadership, in the habits offering that I gave you. There was a deliberation that I went through to pick the different sessions that I wanted to offer you in the dollar trial. I would not have created a dollar trial had we not had this coronavirus. So I figured, well, what can I do to help them, and what is it that they need the most right now? That's me being me and me staying in my routine. There was something I was going to offer you. I didn't offer it to you because it wasn't relevant, and it will probably be relevant in 6 months. So whatever I had planned for April, you're not going to see until October. Right? That's okay. But for you, stay in your routines, stay in your systems. You might have to work a little harder. That's okay. I got to work harder too. Right? I had to actually double my workload in April because I had to squash everything I had planned, and I had to build everything new, and I had already built that in March for April. For you, your analogy is you job searchers. We're going to talk about this on Tuesday. If you watch my video on Tuesday, you might have had target company lists that were in hospitality, travel and leisure. Those might have been, okay, well, you got to scrap those, right? You got to go after technology companies and other companies, personal care companies, and things of that nature. That's your adjustment. You and I, we live the same lives. We do. It might be surprising for you to hear, but that's the truth. All right, you know what? That was just an awesome question, and I know I went off there. Okay, one thing Kara is telling me, and this is a great thing. Thank you. The leadership program that I offer, and I know I didn't go into this because I spent time last week doing this, but I'll just share it just for a couple minutes. It is designed for any one of you. So I always laugh if your product is for everybody, it's for nobody kind of thing. The content in the program is for anyone, regardless of what you do. If you are interested in living a more fulfilled life, accelerating through your career faster, and getting better at foundational personal skills. So I just showed you focus, habits, and working remotely. The working remotely was relevant because of what we're doing now. The focus session I did in April 2019. The habit session I did in September of 2019. Okay, so those are personal qualities that will make you good at everything that you do. But in addition, the types of things we've talked about to draw your mind right to it. Building confidence, right? Earning trust, making persuasive arguments, right? These kind of things. Building your personal brand. Listening was one of the topics. So if you are interested in those types of personal development abilities and getting better at that, getting my viewpoints on what I do, what's worked for me, then the leadership program is for you. Just because it has the word leader in it, it is about building leaders. You can be a leader already, or you might be somebody who's 22, who's getting out of college, who wants to have continuing education. This is going to be pretty damn good for you too. And then it becomes a matter of, it's a monthly subscription like Netflix. I show up live every month. I teach for, it's a 2-hour session. I teach for anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour. We do Q&A for an hour or so, and we go through all this stuff. You get a detailed workbook that's a write-up of what I reviewed. You get thought provokers so that you can do the reflection to think about and get yourself ready to actually implement the quality. And then there's usually, not always, but usually 90% of the time, there's a challenge that facilitates you working it. So give you a little action plan for the 30 days until we meet again, and so on. And so on Friday, for example, that's about risk management. You all need to know about risk management in your life. You need to understand how to identify it, understand the probabilities, understand the impacts, understand the mitigating plans, understand how to put a contingency plan together, all that stuff. You need that in everything you do, right? So if I want to undertake a personal goal, I need that. I want to undertake a work project, I need that. So it makes no difference if you're a white-collar professional. It makes no difference if you're 25 or 55. If you want to develop personally, that's who that program's for. And there ain't no better way to get an idea of what it looks like than to spend $1 and get 3 full sessions plus an extra session. It's really good. We had a lot of people take us up on it. And I'm getting a lot of emails with words like mind-blowing in it and amazing, and I never ever would have thought of it that way. Oh my God, it clicked. It just, there's a lot of experience behind those lessons. I think you'll really enjoy it. So whoever asked that, I appreciate that. I really do. I hope you take me up on it. All right. Spunky 181, grown from upstate New York. Brandon Bradford, thank you for your emails this week. Helena's in the leadership program. I love that. Enola, how you doing? Atul? Okay. This is... it's coming. Okay. Atul, how do you deal with being furloughed in the current climate? So I'm assuming you mean you were laid off. I will tell you all, if you are laid off, so there's a couple things to consider. If you are laid off, you are probably laid off because you're working at a company that is taking a hit in the short term. On Tuesday, I'm not going to go on all this right now. On Tuesday, please watch the video. I go into the 4 different company types. And some of you are in company types that are getting, it's the third bucket, the ones that are getting smashed immediately, that are furloughing people, that are letting people go, that are completely shut down, or that are going to have, some are going to have short-term impacts and some are going to have prolonged impacts. If you get furloughed, the things I would tell you is, obviously I want you to get your job searching in order, and your job search now should be your full-time job. The routines that you go through in your life that you normally would go through, sleeping, eating, meditating, working out, all the other things that you do for hobbies, whatever that is, go for a walk with your dog or whatever, I would stay as consistent as you possibly can. So I've changed none of that. Now, obviously I had an advantage because I'm used to working from home and all that good stuff. But still, wherever you did those things, do them. The more in your routine you can stay, the better. The other thing is, I have journals. If you are on my email list, okay, I have talked to you. I've showed you what the inside of my journal looks like and the reminders that I have on the first page. If you're not on my email list, go to my Instagram page. It's on there somewhere. And those constant reminders and staying in your routine are really important. Now, if you find yourself looking for a job because of this situation, well, then you need to look for a job. Then I would get the structure and I would go into my job search challenge. That's different than my job search boot camp. The job search challenge is the free exercise with the 5 videos. But I would have some organizational structure. What a lot of you are probably suffering from is lack of organization and systematic approach to your job search. What most job seekers do is they take what's available instead of deliberately designing what they want and seeking it in a manner that is proactive, not to mention, and deliberately designed to lead them to where they want to go or to create the opportunity that they would like to have. That's the biggest mistake most job seekers make by millions of miles. And so you need a structure that will put you on the right path. And personally, I think that anything that happens to me happens for my own good. So I have noticed some things happening. I am not immune to, from a business standpoint, that this COVID-19 is thrust upon me. And I have used it to come up with new and creative ways of doing things that I otherwise might not have done. Okay, so for you as a job seeker, if you find yourself furloughed, why not take this opportunity as a time to reflect and figure out what it is you'd like to do and then figure out the best way to approach it. And if you are unsure of that, that's what I'm here for, right? So then you lean on me or you lean on my programs or you lean on the community to help you with that. But the biggest thing you need to do is to stay in your routine. That's what pulls you through. Your routines pull you through the toughest of times. All right, I hope that helps. Hey, if you guys are loving this, hit the thumbs up button, people. Share it. There's people that need help. The other thing is make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel for the new videos now Tuesdays and Fridays, for the weekly shows that are generally Thursdays but are going to be off for a number of weeks, and get on my email list so you're getting the stuff so that you can take the assets, you can learn from them. Todd, how are you? Rochelle, how you doing? And Sherry, my boot camper. And Dana, good to see you. Dana, I'm feeling kind of sheepish with my 65 to 75 minute rides where, I'm going 20 miles, not doing 62. Oh, that's great. I'm not sure how far down that is, but I will get to that. Thank you for that. Anna Goldman. Anna's a leader. Yes, she is, no matter what. And I'm so proud of you. I see you got multiple citizenships now. Good for you. That's awesome. Okay, this is great. I'm going to take this opportunity to explain the 5-day challenge. So, if you have not seen my 5-day job search challenge, that I really would like you to do for a minimum of 14 days. But it's a 5-day process that I take you through. At any time, at any place, any spot in this world, any day of the year, any minute of the day, no matter what's happening in the world, the job search challenge is going to give you the greatest advantage of finding a job of any kind. Remote, in a different town, down the block from your house, wherever. It is designed in alignment with the best job searching tactics that are, I don't whip this out of my butt, people. It's statistically backed. I've been capturing stats on job searching for 15 years. I know exactly the percentages, how you find your job, what leads to the job fastest, and all that is embodied in the steps I'm giving you, okay? Now, yes, it might be harder now, but shoving your resume in an applicant tracking system versus the 5-day challenge, this is going to win out. If the market is high flying, it's still going to win out. If you're looking inside your town, it's still going to win out. If you're looking in a different country, it's still going to win out. The point is, it's going to give you the best chance, whatever your parameters are, whatever it is that you do, wherever it is that you do it, that challenge is going to help you. It will. It doesn't matter who you are. If you do what I'm asking you to do in the challenge, you're going to find your job faster. And if nothing else, you are going to develop some lifelong skills that you are going to be grateful for that you'd gone through those exercises. It's really, it's good. And I struggle with giving it away for free. It's that good. And I'm telling you, we've had 7,000 people go through it in the last 6-8 weeks that are having amazing results. And I know that because they are in the system or they give me the emails to let me know, despite this pandemic. So yes, Bria, go get it. All right. Buhari, hey, next time I'm in the OC, when this, ridiculousness is over, I'm going to come out and visit my family. And that's where they live. Nadia from New York. I hope you are safe, Nadia. I really do, man. I look at the stat. I talked about this. I don't watch the news at all. Zero. I refuse to have somebody feed it to me. So the way I take in my information is I go to the websites where I want to see something, like a jobs report or the Bureau of Labor Statistics, or I go to the WHO or the CDC or whatever site that I want to get the raw data. And then I also have my news curated, and then I look at the headlines and I only look for facts. So I don't want anything with spin and scare in it. Looking at what's happening in the New York area, I do pray for you. That is really something, and I hope you're doing. I hope you're doing okay. I really do. It's really scary. So, prayers for you, Nadia. Can we all give Nadia a prayer? All right. Hey, you're on furlough. Financial analyst is not your specialty. Want to work in consulting for fashion industry. Working on Six Sigma. Awesome. As we speak, tips to get considered. Interviews told. Go back to school for it. So, I would not necessarily do that. So somebody was asking about, is it a good time to look for work during the pandemic? Is it a good time looking for remote work during the pandemic? The one thing that is going to be more difficult is making a career change. Just more difficult, not impossible. Okay. So I don't want to scare you. And if you're really right, if your head is screwed on straight, right now, you're doing everything you possibly can to get your credentials up. So when this thing is over, you're in a better position to actually make that step and make that leap. So if you want to work in consulting for fashion, I don't know exactly what that entails. I mean, I was a consultant for a long time in technology and management consulting and business processes and software systems and those kind of things. And I am familiar with Six Sigma, and I understand what it teaches, and lean as well. I think all of those things are great for you to do, especially if you want to consult in fashion or any consumable or wearable good or manufactured good or anything of that nature. But in interviews, my advice on that is, and I don't, your name is not familiar to me. I don't know if you're a first timer. I certainly don't remember your face, but I always say to anybody trying to do anything that is, and by the way, this could be a simple job change. So you're a financial analyst, you want to be a financial analyst somewhere else. This could be a career change. You're a financial analyst, you want to be a fashion consultant. You could be a new college graduate, 22, looking for a new job. You could be anybody needing capital, whatever it might be. Your time is best spent seeking out people who will take a chance on you and have openly advertised it. Meaning, don't spend your time trying to convince somebody that they need to take a chance on you if they are not already mentally there. So if I'm an employer and I'm looking for somebody to hire, and while I would appreciate experience, I'm open to hiring a college student, and I know that I can build the skills on the job, or I can take somebody who's got great organizational skills, process skills, and is going for her, Six Sigma belts and all that good stuff, and train her. If I'm mentally there, your job as a job seeker and a career changer is to find those people. Do not try to spend a lot of time convincing somebody who doesn't already believe it. Why do you not want to do that? Number one, you're burning a lot of time on the front end. If they've already made up their mind, you're wasting your time. let's just say, sake of argument, you're able to convince them and they do take a chance on you. They have a very, very short wick. They are going to be very, very impatient because 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in, they're going to be like, you know what? I knew it. She's not catching on fast enough. You know what? I should have listened to my gut. Hey, Nadia, you're out of here, right? There's a lot of that happens. People think that they're successful because they get a job, when I would say, I don't know if that's good or bad. I'll wish you congratulations. You might have picked the wrong company. You might have picked the wrong job. You might have changed at the wrong time. I don't know if it's successful or not. You don't know that until you can look back. Employers who think that they made a successful hire, they don't know shit. You don't know anything the moment that you start. You can't know that for months. You can't maybe know that for a year, right? So think about that. So in your case, I would keep doing what you're doing, but I would adjust to who I was targeting. And I would not be worried about interviewers who say, well, you got to go back to school. That's short-sighted. It's bad mindset. And I don't know anybody whose schooling I would value more than on-the-job experience. So you have to highlight your on-the-job experience that aligns to those things. The Six Sigma and going for any degree, any certification, any whatever is great. That will give you a better advantage if you're making a change. That's not nearly as important to me as what you learned on the job as a financial analyst, that you can somehow connect the dots for me that applies. So those are the things. So my tip is, I would not be going back to school. I would be spending my time, not my money, not my time, going back to school. I would be spending my time searching for organizations who are open to it. They are out there. They are. You just haven't found them yet. Put your effort into that. Okay, I hope that helps. All right. Julia, what's this? What are the things to look out for to do if starting a new job while everyone is working remotely? So I think working remotely, people make a big deal out of this. It's nice to have the incidental contact in the office. It's nice to be able to sit down and look at the same screen or dump the cards out on the table and go through it. Okay? That's cool. But most of the work gets done when I'm sitting at my desk or when you're sitting at your desk. That's actually when the work gets done, which is why people work so many hours, because they go to these meetings that last way too long. They don't get anything done. Then they got to go to their desk and they got to work overtime to get the stuff done. Okay, so when I am looking, at hiring somebody remotely, or if I'm an individual looking for a company where it's going to be a remote job, I would look for the same things. You just need to ask them a little differently. So, what are the how do you communicate? Okay, well, all right. Well, Stacy, Kara, and I, we have phones, we have Slack, we have common drives, we have Zoom, we have whatever. I mean, we talk a lot every day and make sure everything's in order, but the communication is there. The infrastructure is there. We're a small company, but we get a lot done because the processes are there. If you're interviewing with a large company and everybody's working remotely, what kind of equipment do I have at home? Am I set up for success? What's the company do to support the remote working? And so on, right? Like I would ask the same stuff, but I might be a little bit more specific. And you could even say, now that we're working remotely, I probably would investigate, what changes did you need to make in order to accommodate it? Was it just getting people the computers and everything else was cool and you used the same tool, whether you were sitting in the other cubicle or whether you're sitting here? Right? Slack is, you use that when somebody's in the other room, right? And it's a stream of stuff. So I would just poke a little bit more in regard to that. But I think it's about communication. Companies that communicate effectively when they're in person, they don't have any problem, right? It's companies that, think about it. If you don't communicate effectively while you're in the same office, what makes you think you're going to be able to do it when you're not in the same office? But I would spend my time poking around there. All right. Let me see. Where are we at here, Karen? How's everybody doing? I would love to know what your biggest struggle is right now. I really would. Anything in your life, your fears, your work, your whatever. Let me know. I want to take some of those toward the end. Maybe Kara can feed some of that to me. All right. All right. Robert, I'm not sure what your question is. I understand that you have 25 plus years of experience from aerospace to entertainment. I'm not sure what your question is. I really am not. Like, are you saying what should you pursue? If you can, I'll tell you what. So you're a boot camper. Do me a favor. Ask me this tomorrow. Or if you are not going to be there tomorrow because you're a boot camper and I love you, email me at support. Ask me the question and I will answer it live for you and you can catch the recording. So yeah, let's get you taken care of. But I want to make sure I'm answering what you're asking me. Folks, you see the love the boot campers get? Come to me. Come to me. I will have your back. I will have your back. I won't quit till you get the job. I won't. And then we'll help teach you how to be a leader. Sam, I'm also not sure what you're asking me. Oh, hang on. That disappeared. Tips on creating a brand marketing plan with steps. So you're asking me how to create a marketing plan. So what's the product? Different plan calls for different steps. So my product, is an example, is coaching services. Now, coaching services come in the form of a online training product. They come in the form of one-on-one. They come group coaching and so on, right? But in order for me to sell any of those, I had a marketing plan that started July 1st, 2015. The first year, it said, do nothing, don't sell anything, do nothing related to selling, 12 months, build community, create content, give stuff away, and so on, right? That's 1 year. Then the next year it was, okay, brand marketing plan says you need to do something that's a little more salesy and so on. Now, if you have widgets that you're selling or software that you're selling, the marketing plan, I would go with the 7 different marketing vehicles that you could use, and I would identify what the smartest rollout strategy would be by marketing line for whatever it is your product is. If your product is a consumable product that somebody needs instantly, that all it takes is I just need to see an ad and then I'll buy it, that's one thing. If you're selling business to business services, is it something that can be done over the phone? Is it something that can be done in an email marketing strategy? Is it something that can be done in an event or a conference, which you won't be doing for a while, and so on? So you got to give me more. You got to give me more data there. Every company's marketing strategy and brand building plan is going to be different depending on what the brand is, what the brand's for, meaning what the service or product is. So, but think through that. All right, I'm zipping on down. Laura Cobb is my Ironman training, actually. And so, okay, I had to adjust, right? I can't get into a pool. So I run, I bike, I run, I bike, I run, I bike. It's like nonstop. And then I do dry land swimming now. So I do all the swimming movements. I just have to do them outside of the pool. So it's man, I work out so much you will believe it. Ay. Those damn pools better open soon. All right. Heard. Let me see. I want to try to get to these remote questions because these are, we're getting a lot of these. I found a job advertisement that sounds wonderful, but it is another state where I don't want to move to. At what point in the application process should I say, could I work remotely? Awesome question, Heard. Everybody. So this is a phenomenal question for so many reasons. It's not just, can I work remotely? Let's talk big picture, then let's talk small picture. First thing, any time, all right, this is the advanced class. Any time, not the first thing I'm going to say, but the second or third thing I'll say. Anytime you want something, you do not ask until your stock is the highest. That's lesson number one. Your stock is not highest at the beginning. Herd knows this, okay? So he or she wants to know at what point. Second thing about asking. You need to not request or make acceptances midway through the process. Let me be really clear. This is really, really important. Let's say Herd wants to work remotely. Herd wants Fridays off. Herd wants cell phone reimbursements. Herd wants a bigger bonus, and Herd wants a bigger salary. At the end of the day, going to go through the process, wants all these things. If let's just give you time frames. Start the interview on Monday, finish the interview process on Friday. On Wednesday, Herd and I are on the phone. We're talking, we're doing a video Zoom, and Herd says, you're in Chicago, Andy. I don't really want to work there. Herd, no problem. You work remotely. Okay? That's great. Now Friday comes around, I give you the offer. You already took something from me, which gives you that much less negotiating power, okay? Because this is chess, not checkers, and you want a lot of things, not just the working remotely, okay? Now, I don't know what you want. I'm just saying most people will have several things that they need. But the more things that you need that are not accommodated for, the greater the likelihood some other things that you need will be accommodated for. So you don't want to come to me on Wednesday, open up the conversation, and say, can I work remotely? If I offer it up and say, hey, I noticed you're in Pennsylvania, I'm in Chicago, would you consider moving? And you'd say, well, is there a possibility I can work remotely? Now I threw it on you. And I say, yeah, you can work remotely. I gave you one. Same thing, same outcome, same emotional principle, same, you just lost the negotiating chit. Now, you don't say anything. It doesn't come up. It comes up on Wednesday, or something. You don't say anything on Monday. It comes up on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I say, Herd, you're in Pennsylvania, I'm in Chicago. Have you considered moving? I've considered all possibilities, Andy. I'm open to whatever, and if we're right for each other, I'm sure we'll be able to come to something amenable. Let's figure that out if we get down to the end. Same tactic I give you all the time, every single day, every single moment until you get the offer. You don't want to ask for anything, and you don't want to accept anything. Okay? You push me off because when we get to Friday and I give you the offer, you say, okay, look, you gave me 100. I really want 110. You gave me a 20% bonus. I really want 25. You said we can work 4 10-hour days. I have to pick up my kid who lives far away on Fridays. Okay. Now, all right. Now I want your whole list at once. And now you don't want to come to Chicago. You want to stay in Pennsylvania. You want to put that in the pile. Okay? Why? Because if that's the only thing you care about, you just now gave me 4 things. Andy, I'm giving you 4. I'll take the 100. I'll take the 20% bonus. I'll take the having to work Fridays if I could work remotely. Do you see the difference and the power and your ability to say, well, Andy, I gave you 3. Now, you won't use those words, but that's what's going through my head. All right, you know what? Okay, you can stay home. You've got to know this. If you start collecting things along the way, you have no negotiation leverage at the end. Hey, I already gave you this, I already gave you that. Now you're a pain in my butt. Right? You just keep asking for stuff. You know what? What's going through my head is you're going to be an unhappy employee. You're never going to be satisfied. What happens you do it my way? Dad Herd's a great guy. Boy, he stomached all those things I couldn't give him. He's going to be a great one. You're the same guy. Right? and you just save that chit till the end with all the other chits that you wanted to cash in. This is important stuff. This is why people don't get paid what they deserve. This is why you don't have negotiation power at the end. Okay, so and going back to my boot camp, this is the kind of stuff we review, because on Wednesday you made a mistake that cost you on Friday. Right? Salary negotiation is not about getting up to the table and having a great dialogue. It's about all the things you didn't do along the way to raise your negotiation leverage. Okay? So what you do, what you don't do, what you say, what you don't say, all that matters equally. You could have crushed yourself 2 days before and didn't know it. You might think I'm being dramatic. I'm telling you, this is what happens. You're leaving money on the table, or you're leaving concessions on the table. That's a great question. Boy, we're gonna Stacy, we're gonna package that one up. All right, great one. Oops. All right. Let me see. I'm buzzing down, looking for some questions. Hey, I'm just buzzing down here. I'm trying to get some that I think, I got about 10 more minutes, folks. All right, wait. I want to put this one up. If you do not have, I know this is not a question, and here's one of my boot campers. I want everybody to benefit from this. If it says, Andy, hey Nandini, how are you? A rejection email idea worked. I got a response from the HR recruiter, and she mentioned that she is opening a new rec and she would like for me to apply to that. And yes, you are a boot camper. And the reason I wanted to pop this up is I just want everybody to watch my video on how to get the job after being rejected. Do not wait to get rejected to watch that, okay? Have it so that you can react instantly. You never know when you're going to get ejected from the process. Once you have a phone screen, you can be ejected any minute after that phone screen, okay? It could be that day, could be the next day, could be 3 weeks out. You need to make sure that you understand what that concept is, how to use it, have it in your tool bag. So Nandini, great to hear. It's called How to Get the Job After Being Rejected. All right, one thing I want to do, then I want to take a few more questions. I want to, if you're enjoying this, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Like a fucking record. All right, real quick, real fast. If y'all ain't in my resume writing masterclass, if you are even thinking about writing your resume, you ain't getting a better deal than this. All those people who stole it for free, that is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. $49 till next week. If you're smart, you will get it now. Write your resume. Come to the class next Thursday. Ask me all your questions. The live coaching event is on Thursday. It replaces live office hours next week, so I will not be here. The boot camp, this is the greatest deal ever as far as value is concerned. Most coaching, most everything is the full system. Check out the boot camp page, please. I cannot believe what trainers charge for just an interviewing course. This is everything you can need. 6 sessions, April 17th, that's tomorrow. Then Thursday, you can come to if you're in the boot camp, you can come to that resume writing special that we're going to have next Thursday. And then every Friday for the next 4 Fridays after that, the Leadership Monthly Live, that's it. Today, it's $1. Get in. People are having a load of fun with it. You're going to learn about focusing. You're going to learn about habit building. So a lot of that stuff do I got a dog running around here? Working remotely, I'm going to give you my best tips for that. And I got a surprise bonus in there. And then next Friday, I'm with my leaders on risk management. It's really going to be a lot of fun stuff. All right, let me get back. Let me grab a couple more questions here. Oh, who is that? Harley back there? Boy, those dogs love having my wife home. All right. Anna Goldman is one of our beloved leaders. This situation seems like the most productive time I'm on Andy's videos. That's really cool to have this much time to boost our skills and get ready for super career ahead. Anna, thank you so much. Folks, every single day, I'm spending 1 hour training me 7 days a week. So I used to take a break at lunch. I would either go out on my own or I would go meet somebody or whatever. And it would take me a little drive time, then eating time at the restaurant or the coffee shop or whatever. And I've used that time to now train. And the other thing is, a lot of you are not commuting. You're not traveling. You're not driving to work. A lot of you, some of you are. But if you are not taking advantage of this time, I'll never tell anybody how to live their life. I'm just saying, this is a golden opportunity for you to take advantage of this time. I am doing things and trying things and doing more training and trying new ideas, and some things are working and some things aren't, but they're going out into the world. I'm trying. There are more things I know, more data I'm collecting, more trials I'm running, trying to give stuff away, trying to help people, learning things. How can I learn from that? That's training for me too. So I really, Annie, you're welcome. I appreciate you. It's great following you on Instagram. All right. All right, here's a good one. I was called by a hiring manager after my resume was dropped from the ATS. My interview went really well, but now I'm assuming now they aren't calling me back or answering my call. How long do I wait to follow up? So, Tim, great question. Everybody keep in mind that this is, obviously we're going through a time that's strange. I've never seen this in my life. I'm 53, and even if you're 60, you've never seen this in your life. And actually, if you're 70, you've never seen this in your life, right? You got to go back to like 1917 or something like that. I want you to stay consistent with the follow-ups. But what I would hope is that companies are respectful enough to say, hey, things are a little crazy, or we're trying to interview more people, or we had to put the position on hold, or we're going to pick this up in 2 weeks, or whatever. So here's what I would do. You have the interview, you send your thank you email. Number one, when any of you have any interview, you need to ask, what's the next step? When will I hear back from you, and who will I hear back from, and by when? Okay, you got to ask that stuff. Then they're going to tell you or not tell you. If they tell you, you gauge your follow-up off what they tell you. If they say, I'm going to call you tomorrow, and they don't call you, and it's Friday, you call them Monday. It's Monday, they say tomorrow, you call them Wednesday, right? Kind of thing. They say, hey, Tim, I'll get back to you in a week. And a week comes and goes, you give them a few grace days, then you reach back in. Every time you're following up at this moment, when you're following up something like that, you say, hey, listen, I know times are crazy right now, but I'm greatly interested in the position. I just wanted to follow up to see if there are any next steps. If you don't, if there aren't, if you haven't made any decision yet, or you're still interviewing other people or whatever it is, please let me, can you let me know when I might hear back from you? And, but I'm greatly interested in the position. I think we'd be a great match, kind of reiterate. But you want to keep it as tight as possible. But you just want a friendly tap on the shoulder, but you want to sound understanding. So, and then that's going to vary depending on what they tell you. So I might say 1 day wait. I might say 5 days wait. I might say 10 days wait. I might say 2 weeks wait. But I don't know what the communication was. You've got to get that information when you end the interview. Okay, hope that helps. Oh, wait. Hang on. I got to get Mags in here. I love this one. This week, quarantine started. I was supposed to get an offer from preferred company. They apologized and wrote they needed to wait this out. What is good, thoughtful way to show I'm still interested? Okay. Now, what I would have loved to know is there's layers. Okay, this is so good. This is such... Wait. Marie, thanks for asking this. This is so good. What I'm about to tell you guys is very, very valuable for what you're going through right now. There are layers of evaluation that you need to go through in this kind of follow-up. All right. Now, number one, and I don't want to go too much into this because this is going to come out Tuesday, the different types of companies that are occurring right now. But let me give you a sneak preview. If it's a company that is getting crushed right now, like hospitality, event management, and so on, then you know they're not going to hire until all this stuff is back in full swing. If it's a company that's just a little confused and they're trying to get their remote workers set up, that's a little different. So you got to kind of assess what's happening. Now, that's one layer of evaluation. The next layer of evaluation is the position itself. Is the position something that is no longer going to be needed as a result of this pandemic? Or is it that is the whole company on a hiring freeze? Or is it just this position is on a hiring freeze? The reason you have to know this is because how you follow up and what you say is going to be determined based on what's the type of company. Are they going to get crushed now and they'll bounce back quickly? Are they going to be crushed for a long time? Or are they just sort of getting themselves situated so that they can more efficiently work remotely? You have to know all these things. And then your position that you were interviewing for. Is this something that they anticipate? Now, in your case, Marie, after you go through that analysis, if the company says, oh, wait, no, we just need a few more weeks and we need to sort through making sure that everybody is productive where they are, but we're going to pick this right back up, great, you wait the couple of weeks. If they say, you know what, we are so uncertain at the moment, we're really not sure what we're going to do. That's not a good sign, okay? You should not be that confused at this point. We've already been operating for a while now, meaning you should know that, hey, for the foreseeable future, we will not be hiring. Or, nope, it's going to take us a couple, 3 weeks. I know it'll be sorted. Right? You should be able to assess that. Now, we might not know how long this is going to go, but if they say, hey, it's indefinite, okay, all right, that's at least knowing that until you get some kind of clearance, some kind of cure, some kind of, downward trend, we're not going to do anything. Okay, fine. Right? That's clarity, at least as it relates to that. But based on your analysis, if it's a position that gets put on hold, then what you say is, okay, you know what? I really love your company. Are there other opportunities within your organization that you think I would be a good fit for that are more of an immediate need? If it's a complete shutdown, you would say something along the lines of, okay, I will circle back when we start to get better news, or if something changes on your end, I would be open, to picking this right back up. No matter what happens, in 30 days, you got to follow up with them, okay? To let them know, hey, you're still on my mind. Hey, obviously, really crazy times. It's unfortunate we weren't able to get together and pull the trigger back a month ago. I just wanted to check back in, make sure everything's okay with you. Hope you're doing well. Want to let you know you're still on my mind. Let me know if you want to pick this up, blah, blah, blah. There's some sensitivities around organizations that you want to work for. Now, Marie, in another situation, because I have you and because you're a boot camper and because you asked me this the other day, you asked me a question about, I sent the message, the director, the hiring official says, we're on a hiring freeze. I'll send your info to HR. Okay? This is a different scenario. All right, you guys get a bonus because we're going to piggyback Marie's questions. When somebody says, when you reach out with the boss hunting technique to somebody and they say, we are in a hiring freeze, you do not dismiss that, okay? So you alter your goal from trying to get a job to trying to network. So they said, okay, we're going to pass it along to HR. Great. Thank you so much for doing that. I understand perfectly. I hope you're doing well, right? I hope you're okay. While I would have loved to work for you, which is the reason for my initial inquiry, I will, we'll hang tight, wait for anything. In the meantime, as you can see that I am in the middle of my job search, are there any other people that you know outside of your organization that I should connect with, or you could connect me with, or whatever, do sound like you, that could potentially help me with my current search, or who might be in need of my services or whatever. When you do that, when somebody gets back to you initially like that, and actually took the time to get back to you and said, I'd forward your stuff to HR, that person, you got a great likelihood that person will want to help you further. Why? That person's a long-term thinker. That person's not dismissive. That person just didn't kick it aside. There's a great likelihood, I say better than 50-50, that person will respond back and give you referrals. Okay? The boot campers, we do this often. And we've had a great percentage that get additional interviews because they get referrals to other people, and then they go reach out to those people. Hey, I got your name from so-and-so, thought it would be a good idea. I had contacted her. I was in the middle of my search. I'd asked her if there were any other people. She highly recommended you. I thought I would reach, after looking at your background, I think you're a superstar, and so on. And then off it goes. Just remember something, and I've said this a number of times. I'm going to keep saying it. When you send something out, your goal, number one goal, you only have one goal, contrary to what a lot of you think. The goal is to get somebody to respond. That's the first goal, because you can't get to the second goal and the third goal and the fourth goal unless they respond. So they responded. Now, what you do with that is determined based on their response. Marie, you had a plan, right? I want to go work at that company. That plan got altered midstream by what that person told you. Great. The only thing worse than not having a plan is having a plan that you won't alter. Okay? So you're going to make an adjustment on the fly. Now you're going to turn this relationship from a boss hiring me to a potential good colleague that I can connect with who can refer me. Networking. Remember, it goes both ways. When something comes back to you, don't let the chain die with you. I don't want the chain to die with that person you reached out to, right? I always say, right, be a link, not an endpoint, right? You need to think that way. When a recruiter contacts you and they say, I have an opportunity for a database architect and you're a project manager, it doesn't matter. Go, get with them. Now your mind shift should be, get on the phone with the recruiter, give the recruiter referrals, right? Spend 5 minutes with the recruiter, say, hey, I'm a program manager, but I really wanted to talk to you and I figured you could use my network, so what do you need? Right? Like if you thought like that, the world would spin better and faster for you. So when you're reaching into people and people say, well, what do I say when they say no? You figure out what else to say based on anything of value that they could provide you. So you want to make sure that you're following through with that. So that's a little package on follow-ups of a variety of kind. So I hope that helps, Marie, and hope to see you tomorrow. All right, take care on that. All right, let me see if I could squeeze another one in here, because we got a boot camper here and I want to get my boot camper in. Joe Winner. Where's your other one, Joe? Okay. Joe Winner. Andy, I recently interviewed with 2 senior leaders for a job in another city. Awesome. Then I received what looked like a system-generated email advising the position is closed. All right. Let me see if I can get this other one up here. I sent a note to the recruiter looking to see if the position is closed or if another candidate was selected. I am not hearing anything back. Do I send the reject email to the hiring manager? Yes. Okay, Joe, couple things. In the rejection email, you can make an alteration. So what's best is if they are clear in letting you know what actually transpired. Okay? Meaning, hey, Joe, you're a great dude, which you are. We decided to, somebody else had a little more experience in alignment, or, hey, Joe, you're a great dude. We decided to halt the position at the moment, whatever. You go to this, whoever's email you have. Hopefully you have the recruiter and the hiring official. You send one email to both of them. Normally, I tell you all, send your thank you emails individually, and you should. The rejection email goes to the hiring official and the recruiter or HR person or whoever's quarterbacking your process. Okay? So, thank you very much for your time. While I would have loved, and I respect your decision. I know you what's best. I'm not sure if you chose a candidate or if you closed the position, but regardless, I wanted you to know, and then go into the rejection package. And just one of those. And I would definitely do it. And I would definitely contact them 30 days later. Without a doubt. For all you know, They could have just closed the position. So now I go back to I'll tell you what I was telling Marie. Go through your evaluation. Was it a situation where the company is going to be in dire straits in the short term, midterm, long term? If it is, okay, maybe that's a clue, right? So just because they close a position doesn't mean they hired somebody else. And so since you don't know, I would just send it and then, right, and then follow up a month later. But yes, hell yes, without a doubt. All right, how am I doing, Kara? Am I okay? All that looks good. Okay, let me see if I can get one more in here. Do I have any boot campers in here? Oh, can we put a positive note up? Michelle, thanks for joining my community. Thank you for the lovely email in response to my request for information from you. That did make me chuckle. I read those, I do. In spite of what is happening in the economy right now, I am interviewing with 3 companies. Jobs will come back, and these companies want to be prepared when they open the doors. This is true. Folks, you need to know this. Don't think for 1 second that no one is hiring. Do not use this as an excuse to stop your search. Do not watch the news 24/7. Yes, stuff is bad. Yes, we need to take care of ourselves. Yes, we need to help the people who are not feeling well and who are fatal. But stay in your lane and stay focused on you, your health, your routines, your family, the people who need you, your search. It matters. And yes, you might have to work a little harder. Yes, you might have to be a little more creative. Life is not fair, right? What do I say? It never has been. Is it now? Never will be. But don't use that as an excuse, right? Stay with it. Stay with it. Get in my job search challenge if you need some structure. And if you really want help, get in my boot camp. I know it might sound like a lot of money, but the value's there. It's the best career insurance policy you'll ever get. It's a one-time thing. It's a one-time enrollment. We don't keep nickel and diming you. And you can stay forever and ever, and you can come back to all the sessions forever and ever, all those private sessions. You got the community. You got me. You got my team. It matters. But these companies, some of them are going to be hurting for a long time. But the economy was super strong, right, a month ago. Even with this pandemic happening in other countries. I'm in the U.S., but 4 weeks ago, we were at 50-year record lows of unemployment claims, right? I understand things have changed overnight, but just as quickly as they changed, they can go back. So hang in there. And Michelle, thanks for letting me end on a positive note. Now, just to recap my schedule. Tomorrow, I'm with my boot campers. Next Thursday, if you get the $49 resume super special, you can come and see me. The following week, I'm with my the next day, actually, next Friday, the 24th, I'm with my leaders. And then every Friday beyond that for a month, I'm dedicating my time to my boot campers. That's where I'll be. Now, I'll still be releasing videos. I'll still be doing my best to answer my YouTube comments and all that good stuff. But if you want to catch me live, you got to get into one of the programs so I can help you at the deepest level. All right. You all, the 200 of you that are here, awesome. Everybody stay safe. I'll see some of you in June. I'll see some of you tomorrow. Take care.